What about it? Hey, man, listen, the question of the day is is Jake Paul, excuse me, the cash cow in boxing currently? So the numbers is in, even though the fight was free on Netflix, because the mass majority of people had Netflix that watched it, I would assume. Um, Canelo and Crawford was only able to attract an estimated 50 million people versus Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, which was 108 million viewers. Hey, listen, man. It was always this thing going around when Jake Paul first came into space that he was bad for the sport. He was bad for the sport. He was bad for the sport. Now, I get it. He didn't take the traditional way. And that's where a lot of the biases truly came from, was the fact that he didn't go through the hardships. But at the same time, he has brought money to boxing, as I always say. Whether we like him or not, Jake Paul has brought money to the sport. He has put female fighters on the map and made a spotlight for women boxing on multiple occasions. I truly like what he has to offer, business-wise, because new ideas bring new money. But, when you tend to be caught up in the same aspects, now, all new ideas are not good ideas, but I feel like Jake Paul is going to end up being more valuable than what Turki Al-Sheikh is going to be for the sport, humbly. And I say that is because Turki Al-Sheikh don't care about the fighters. Jake Paul's actually putting a bigger bag in fighters' in pockets. So people looking at it like Turki's the hero. Turki literally wants to see people go in there and get knocked the shit out of. That's all he care about. How many clicks? Who gonna be tapped into his digital magazine and things of that nature? You know what I mean? Versus, like Jake Paul actually taking care of these women. He's actually giving some fighters the biggest paycheck they received their whole career. I like that. I'm about the fighter being taken care of. They have the most dangerous job in the fucking world. So, the least we can do is want the best for them. I don't care about Dana White. I don't necessarily care for Turki. Yeah, I may speak on him, but he doesn't have to get in the ring. He's safe. Like, when I'm watching boxing, I want the fighters to make it out. Win, lose, draw, knockout, whatever it is. Like, I don't want to see fighters hurt. In the sense of, it comes with the game, but in the sense of being unalived, I don't want that. So, yeah, man, listen. That boy Jake Paul's proven that he is a benefit to boxing, as he always been. I get it, influencer, people take it as a joke. Whatever concepts that we all have and opinions, we're entitled to them. But overall, Turki Al-Sheikh want to see people hurt, and Jake Paul want to see people paid, and he's bringing a whole different level of viewership. Now, don't get me wrong, his last fight, yeah, we can give credit to Mike Tyson. It is Mike Tyson. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, he still put it together. He still made a lane to where fights can be on Netflix. I like the guy for that. He has accomplished a lot. Yes, pay-per-view business model is dying, and now subscription-based companies are more invested into showing the sport. So it's a different type of check. Cool. But I already know once it comes to the point to where people don't necessarily agree with Jake Paul, they'll automatically, no matter what he do, they'll shut it out. And if they like Turki Al-Sheikh, no matter what he say, they'll shut it out. To the point to where he'll be blatantly starting to underpay athletes and starting to take away their fucking rights, such as Dana White is trying to do. Make it to where fighters can't negotiate their own deals and get the most money to be taking one of the biggest risks by basically putting their lives on the line and getting in a square circle. So, hey, man, shout out Jake Paul for bringing new eyes to the sport. paying athletes what they never made before. I'm all for that shit. To each their own, man. I get it. Some people, especially boxers in particular, will hear the name Jake Paul mentioned and have something against him. But yet, fighters in the game want to fight him because they know he's going to help bring a different type of bag. So, you know, he's the cash cow, man. You know, we all knew because of Crawford, you know, breakdown with him being on a different promoter and all of the belts being at PBC, that he wasn't going to be the most popular. But he is the most skillful. You know, it is what it is. So I knew he wasn't going to drive a lot of viewership. I watch him. But those type of fights are particularly for boxing enthusiasts. They're not fights to where someone who doesn't have a acquired taste for boxing can sit down and be able to digest it and understand the skill set that it takes. That's why you have some people who are on Canelo's side saying shit like Crawford was running, as if he's supposed to sit there and just get hit up top of his head by a much bigger dude. Nah, it's bullshit. He boxed smart, and he basically shows you the value of a jab. Great jab. Yo, what up? So, you know, listen, man. That boy Jake Paul, for him even making a lane for people for Netflix, him and Mike Tyson, that shit is lit. You know, and I feel like boxing is just gonna go to a new level. Hey, how about Shakur Stevenson, man? He's saying he got Teofimo next for sure. I'm excited for that match. I got it split down the middle. It's 50-50 to me. What y'all think? Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez? Let me know. But Shakur Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, is I got it split down the middle. The reason why I'm saying I got it split down the middle is because Teofimo has showed more maturity in his feet work. Now, if this was, you know, prior to his last fight, I would take Shakur 100%. But I do feel like, you know, Teofimo is adding a little game of boxing and using his explosiveness and his feet, and not just, you get what I'm saying, his legs when it's time to just throw shots. Now he's actually moving. So, you know, maybe he know how to cut the ring off better. I know he normally can't fuck with boxing southpaws, and somebody like Shakur Stevenson will have better counterpunching in comparison to people before. Puts on 5 pounds of muscle, he's a problem. Hey, listen, I'm not doubting Shakur Stevenson. I believe Shakur Stevenson is a problem. Great fighter. I actually love him. He has one of the better resumes next to Teofimo Lopez within them weight classes. But what I'm saying is Teofimo Lopez showed me a little bit more like feet in comparison to, and I get it, it was against somebody like Barbosa, a little bit slower. Good boxer, but just a little bit slower. You know, now there's going to be like elite versus elite. Shakur Stevenson can pick them apart. I'm not one to be against that, but I'm just saying, Teofimo Lopez with a more explosive feet and training with the intent to make that shit happen just like that, he good, man. And he got time to like still get ready. Because if you figure they're aiming for the fight to be in January, February, and he already know now, for somebody like Shakur, he already mentally getting ready. He may not be in a full-fledged camp, but he's still going to make sure he drill the right shit. If they smart, they're going to continue to work on their feet. Of course, they're going to go in there with the intent to try to probably hawk them down. But if they do too much of that, they're going to pick them apart. If they're going to go in with a game plan, man, they better box with him. I understand T.O. isn't consistent. I'm not in doubt of that. But I'm still giving him credit for his natural athleticism. Definitely more athletic, you know, than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, hell of a fighter. I don't got nothing against him. But I'm just trying not to be biased, bro. I don't want to just go with, if I had to put my money on somebody, I would go with Shakur. But honestly, I'm just looking at the maturity in Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur put on a hell of a performance. But him sitting in the pocket, we did see him take a few shots. So, and him going hard, he got respectable power, but he can't necessarily just fold somebody over. So now here you go move up, the shots, they might absorb the shots a little bit better. You get what I'm saying? That's just me hypothesizing, bro. I ain't really trying to go at it and just think one-sided. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, I think he has faster hands and better footwork than Edwin. Edwin's footwork was shit. That's the reason why he was saying Shakur was running, because he do not know how to cut off the rim. That's a personal problem. Otherwise, Shakur made it a boring fight. It is what it is. He won, though. A1 ain't got to be cute. As long as you leave with your hand raised. I mean, that's if we just focus on the mission. Because everybody can't be a pay-per-view star. Everybody can't possess that fight style. You get what I'm saying? Or the aesthetic. Crawford is somebody that, hell of a fighter. But personal brand aesthetic, he's not going to necessarily be a superstar. No matter how much Turkey Al-Sheikh try to put money behind him. He's going to be respected. But he's not going to necessarily just up and go do them Jake Paul numbers. Just by with him alone. You get what I'm saying? Nah, he not. Personal brand off. Versus to where Tank could lose and still be Tank. Because his personal brand is just more appealing to people. Like, it's more like culture driven. Terrence Crawford is more so like hard work. Ultra skill. Put on a hell of a performance. But people really thought that he really needed 11 and 12. Nah, that was just called corruption. Man, I had Bud up damn near 10 rounds, man, from that fight, man. I don't know what the fuck them judges was on, man. They probably bet some money on Canelo. I'm glad they lost. Good jab. Good southpaw footwork. Motherfucker was smothering the goddamn left hook. He leaned into that shit, make sure it don't hurt. You get what I'm saying? Dog shit, man. Hey, man, shout out Terrence Crawford, man. I cried from that shit the other day, bro. That was a beautiful performance. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Nah, Tank got to fight too, Devin and Shakur, to get where Bud at right now. Look, this is what y'all fella realize. There's two different types of things that you got to pay attention to in boxing. Yoda. Terrence Crawford is the GOAT in boxing right now. I'm not playing him. What I'm trying to tell you is he's still not a likable person in the sense of to where he can still headline pay-per-views and do crazy numbers. To the boxing community, he is the man. But when it comes to Tank is also a star in the sense of what he do because of the way he carry himself, the energy that he possesses. So therefore, he's going to do numbers when he do big fights. Because they like his style. They like him. That's all I'm saying. He doesn't have to fight tough opponents in order for people to tap in. Because they like him. Likeability still plays into the role of sales. It's no different than why David Benavidez not a bigger star than Canelo. They both Mexican. They both can fight. You get what I'm saying? It's because they like Canelo more. So, I'm not comparing Tank and Crawford fight status together. Their fight status is completely separate. I mean, you may not be paying for the fights, and Netflix wasn't free. you still pay. And eventually, they're going to start putting sports shit behind the paywall or charging a premium for you to have sports. So it's just, that's an incentive for you to get on Netflix and watch it. It's called a business model. That's how you get attention and get people to know that they can come there and watch sports by giving it out for free. Then after a while, you charge. And you may not pay for a Tank fight, but if we basing it on the numbers, people watch them. And if I compare that to Crawford Medrimov, to win a Tank bigger fights, Tank sold more. It's not saying Tank is better than him. Yoda, I get it. He should rematch him. But I ain't gonna lie. To take this 40M up front and then go get those crazy advertisements. You see how many fucking ads goddamn Terrence Crawford with companies he was endorsed by? All them commercials he was doing that's up and down his channel. I mean, he got paid tens of millions of dollars to do that shit. Tank about to get tens of millions of dollars to do this. For 100 plus mil people to watch him. That's what I'm saying. You better go get that fucking money. He can get back to the rest of them hard fights. For the time being, man, listen, I gotta bite down and feed my motherfucking family. Boxers' pride is cool, but they still prize fighters. Man, go make the bet most you can. Because most people don't make nothing from boxing. Even as professionals, they gotta walk away with whatever they can get. Because they can't reach that level. Because it's like a top 1% level. To be able to have access to the money that Tank is able to come across. Man, he better make that shit while he can. Fuck that. How crazy. Money ain't the issue with Turkey in the game. I mean, yeah, but Turkey ain't give Canelo that $100 million. That's combined with Netflix. So maybe he not offering as much as Netflix. So yes, Turkey's paying, but maybe Netflix is paying more. Maybe. But yes, Turkey giving the bags out. But I mean, you know, we all entitled to our own perspectives. Turkey said more than 150 million. Right. You talking about more than 150 million for that last fight, right? Yes. And it was on Netflix. So clearly, Netflix kicked out money. They had to pay the fighters in order for the fighters to show up on their network. And 9 times out of 10, they paid Turkey a certain number for him to be able to make money off of it too. That's how business works. In order for us to work together, somebody has to pay. So the network is on fucking Netflix. They're the ones that's paying. That's why it's not on DAZN, but it's on Netflix. But yeah, I'm not mad at Tank for going to go make that money, man. Me understanding how much attention he about to generate. Go and do your thing, man. You got family to feed. I'm not telling the man not to make no money because I want to see him do something different. What he eat don't make me shit. So the last thing I want to try to do is control his bag or convince him that he needs to skip out on the bag because I want to see a fight. It's not realistic. I do want to see him fight Lamont Roach again. But it's not realistic right now. He going to the bag. I can't be mad at that. Like sometimes as fans, we don't really put ourselves in their shoes because we looking at it like they got money already, so we don't care. But that's not how life works. It's about perspective. If a motherfucker come on my table and offer me something that might lead to me being able to easily get over 250 million after endorsements, or 200 million, or 150, or 100 million even, and I can go fight a harder fight for less, I'm going with the bag. I got into boxing to change my life, to make money. Otherwise, if I don't, and I go fight Lamont Roach, and let's just say he knock him out. We're not saying Lamont Roach can do it. For all you technical motherfuckers, I'm not saying he actually can do it, but I'm just putting it in perspective. He knocked Tank out. Now they take the offer off the table for the Jake Paul fight because he got knocked out, and they want to go with somebody else different. So now somebody else get this damn near 100 million plus after endorsements and all of that shit, rather than me, because I wanted to be a fucking warrior. Man, fuck that, man. It's easy for us to tell somebody to miss out on some money. But meanwhile, as we calling out of work every time we feel like it, nah, we going to the money because we got to. So, man, he going to the money because he got to. I ain't mad at him. You know, do what the fuck you got to do. It gotta make sense, man. It can't just be what we want all the time. And believe it or not, as much shit people talking, people gonna watch that Tank fight. They gonna watch it. Especially if it's free on Netflix. They gonna watch it. Because they're gonna position it to where every time you see something about boxing, that's gonna pop up. Jake Paul know how to market. That's why them fights be doing numbers. He know how to get your attention. He know how to make you talk shit. And the minute you even mention him, he's in your mind. He win. Good business is all about staying relevant in the entertainment industry. Good or bad. I don't need you to like me. I just need you to tap in. I just need you to mention my name on the algorithm and help me the fuck out. That's all. Hey, but listen, I'm about to slide, man. Good night, y'all. I just wanted to tap in, talk a little shit about boxing. I hope y'all have a good night.